Well, after a lot of chasing back and forth, I am finally glad and very ecstatic to have this very special guest on the Totally Indian Football show, where we're going to speak a lot of things about definitely about football and some other personalities as well. He's been the talk of the town for some time now, and rightly so for what he's done on the field, at the I must say on the pitch side, on the sidelines, because I am one of those unfortunate ones who could not see him in action on the field playing, but definitely grateful to be in an era where he's coaching. Renedy Singh, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Siju. Thank you.
So let's just start, right? Firstly, congratulations on your marriage, on the wedding. You had to like rush back home, get married, and get back on duty as well, right? So, congratulations on that.
Thanks again. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, right, we won't be speaking much about your playing career. We are going to focus completely on the other side that you're on right now, which is the coaching stint, and which you've been making the right noises for the right reasons. So if I had to start with, I'll start with the whole East Bengal. How did you like the first time when you? I know, I'm sure you must be tired answering these questions, but at the first stint when you were with them, you were still an assistant coach, but here you got an opportunity to lead the team as a head coach for even if it was a matter of few matches. You did really well. So take us through the journey of how different is it when you're an assistant coach, okay, to the head coach and you're working closely with him, but then suddenly he's off and then you are taking the onus. So what changes do you how do you gauge the situation? Because I'm sure there would have been philosophies exchanged and working in together, but now it's all up to you. So how do you deal with that?
So now, being an assistant coach, of course, it's a good opportunity, but then it's a challenging job as well. So if I have to go back 2015 when I retired, just after retired, I've got the opportunity to work as an assistant coach under David Platt, who was in Manchester City. So I think that was the best opportunity. The problem with Indian players, not only with Indian players, with a lot of players who have played for a long time, and it's not easy to get right away. As soon as you're retired, you're not guaranteed that you will get an assistant job if you want to continue uh, coaching football after playing. The closest to playing is coaching, right? So now when I get that opportunity, thanks to Pune FC, and they gave me the opportunity, and it was the best thing to happen because I wanted to stay with football after playing for 19 years in various other clubs. East Bengal, Mohun Bagan. I retired with Kerala Blasters, and even playing for the national team for 12 years. To get a chance like that, it was the best experience ever for me. And thanks to David Platt, I've learned a lot from him. And after that, after 1 year, he left, and Habas, who have done really well in the Indian football scene, as a coach, I got to work with him, and that was also a good experience. So after 2 years of working as assistant coach, I started thinking, yes, after playing, it's always good to get that opportunity to learn from the best coaches. And I thought, why don't I start a football academy back home? So that's when I started my own academy, and I worked with TV also as a commentator for the I League. So that was a good experience again. So after working for 2 years with a commentary and with Star Sports, I got an opportunity again to work under Robbie Fowler, who have been a great player with Liverpool. So that was a very good thing that in last year, even though it was everything, in they make the team in what 10 15 days, and it was not an easy job for him too. And even there, for East Bengal, if you see, we just cannot blame the officials, but then again, they hardly had time, to with the current officials and all officials having problem and such. So we had a tough time actually. It's not easy to form a team in 15 or 20 days, and then you hardly have a time to get a preseason also. But the management, everyone worked hard. The coaching staff, the players, but then it was not good enough. So even last year, even this year, if we have to look back, till 10 days before the start of the preseason, I think we were not sure we will be in ISL or not. So that was a problem again. And now everyone may said, oh yeah, East Bengal not doing good, doing great. How can you make a team in 15 days, right? So yes, somehow they made a team in 15 days, and Manolo, who was the coach in first team in Real Madrid. So again, for me to work to work under him was the best opportunity, and 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 I was being there as a good assistant coach, and as a because I always want to be a good assistant coach. When you are a head coach, you take the decisions, but then when you are assistant coach, you can only advise, and if they ask, and that's what I did. So now when Manolo, the things couldn't go well, so I got this opportunity to work for 3 matches, even though there were hardly any foreign players. Everyone was injured, so I have to play the all complete Indian, but they did well. So those 3 matches, I have to play against, especially against. Started with Bengaluru. We played 1-1 draw. Mumbai, one of the best attacking team, where we played 0-0, and that was the best feeling that I got, as a head coach. So now after that, playing all Indians, we conceded a goal in 88 minutes against Jamshedpur, but still, I would say the boys, the way they have fought, I think I'm proud of them. And yes, after that I decided to stay away and be an advisor right now, to advise. But then the new coach has come in with different ideas, so good luck to them.
Yeah, I mean, thanks for taking us through that entire process that you went through. But if I am not sure if I'll probably make my question more crisper in terms of you mentioned, you did touch upon that when you're a coach, you can make all the decisions, while you're assistant coach, you only advise when you're asked. So at the same time, when you started work, even though it was a short period, you started work with Manolo, right? And there would have been things that you all discuss among the coaching staff, that the approach that you all had to the game, or how do you approach with different tactics and technicalities of the game. But when he left and you had to take up the onus, now you are in charge. So my question was just to understand, now you were an assistant coach where you were already given a philosophy from a coach who you were working under, but here you are put on the spot. So how different do you approach then? Do you still stick to something that Manolo or any other coach, head coach, put down, or else it's completely a new thing that you take up?
So now I could see that, I was there for a preseason, and then I could see that team where, the team that we have, we will always struggle to play all out attack. That I know. And when you work an assistant, you have to follow the head coach ideas, ideology, or the tactical stuff that you have to follow till the end. That's how you work as assistant. And if they ask you, like I said, for an advice, you will surely give an advice. But the final decision is from the head coach. So when I became the head coach, so if I lose my own decision. So I'm not going to copy anyone, or that's what I always when I sign as an assistant coach. Since then, I have had a lot of experience. But then when I got this job as a head coach, I'm like, if I lose my own ideas. So that's what I did. So I got to know that the players that we are not technically sound, but I know that the players that we have for East Bengal, these players will fight till the end. So okay, so even though I want to play attacking game, but I do not have that type of players to play all out attack. So I had to first thing is when Manolo was there, all due respect to them, somehow it was not clicking. So we were conceding a lot of goals. We conceded 6 goals, we conceded 5 goals, we conceded 4 goals. So when I got the chance to be a head coach, I said, no, first priority is our proper defending. We have to defend well first, and after that, if we can attack, get a goal, good enough. If not, we will not concede too many goals. Proper defending, structure wise, shape while defending and safe while attacking was important, and that's what I did in that 7 days I got before the first match. So that's what I concentrated on. The first, defending is the most important thing, because we don't want to concede. And luckily, we didn't concede. We conceded only. We scored first against Bengaluru, and they scored again. So it was 1-1. A team like attacking team like I said, Mumbai side, the best attacking in the league. So we didn't concede any. And playing the Indian lineup against the table topper Jamshedpur FC, we played draw till the 88 minutes. We conceded a goal on the corner. So yeah, for me, it clicked. So, but then, like I said, we even though we want to play attacking game, the players that we have, we were not just ready. And the boys, the way they have fought, that's the best thing to see for me. And maybe in next year or whenever, I get a chance if we have more better players. And I wish I had those foreigners so that I can play a little bit of attacking game. But I cannot complain on their commitment from the boys.
Yeah, now continuing with talking about coaching duties and coaching roles, right? You've played under some of the best coaches that we've seen, and when I say that, it's most of the Indian coaches that we've had, right, in the past, and unfortunately, we've lost another stalwart, Subhash Bomvik, sir, recently, and you've been one of those who've played under him. And I was reading one of your comments, and you mentioned I even heard about this legend and even spoken to him personally once. That there is he was somebody who was so good at one-on-one man management, right? But years later, like, cut to what we where we are presently. One of the things that we probably talk about the Indian football coaching at a large is somewhere that we lack in Indian coaches is man management. So where do you think probably the stalwarts like a PK Banerjee or Subhash Bomvik who didn't have those fancy courses to do, like right now we have courses galore for coach education, right? And when back then there was nothing, it was purely genius and some amazing brains and put in place. So how do you see what has changed in the coaching structure, and how, if you can, one is that, and then I'll have a follow-up question.
Yeah, if you talk about the man management, I feel that we Indian coaches, some of the coaches, not all the coaches, man management, it's all about individual. I think they're all coaches which I have played under. I think they were all good at man management. But I feel that the work that Savio is doing with coaching education, I think that was not there before. We all young coaches want to learn a lot. If you talk about Clifford, if you talk about Samir, if you talk about Wadu, we all these young coaches, we all are ready, and we are still learning, and we will look forward to learn more. But this was not there. The coaching education was not there when I signed a professional contract with Mohan Bagan way back in 1996. Yes, if you talk about PK Banerjee, man management, top class. If you talk about Sukhisha, top class. If you talk about Bob Houghton, top class. So all this, and if you talk about Subhash Bhomik or Subroto, but I feel that in terms of coaching wise, it could have done better. But like I said, we cannot complain. Of course, they have taught us what they have learned from their coaches that they have played under. So now the way Savio sir is working for last now 10 years now, that been working, and it's showing the result is there, and we still have to, we young coaches have to work more so that we do better. And I'm sure there are a lot of young coaches who are waiting for this chance to do well. Yes, if you talk about Subhash Bhomik man management, yes, he was. I played under him for 4 years. I think, yeah, and he knows, what to talk to the players. What if even on and off the ground. And it's not only inside; it's on the ground that he tries and help. But then off the ground also, he always try and look after if the player is injured. He will always call up and say, how are you feeling and stuff. He'll always look after well. So if you are look after well, players will fight for you, and that's, he knows when and how, what to talk and what not to talk. So if I have to talk about the man management, even Suki was a top class. Suki sir, he was a top class. Bob Houghton, 27 players, we were there. I think he was with us for 6 years, 6.5 years. In that 6.5 years, he always carried 27 players. In that 27 players, I'm sure 25 players are happy. So in football, normally 11 or 15 players are happy because they are playing. Rest of the players are not happy. But how do you manage to keep them happy? And Bob Houghton have shown that, So he have shown that by being such a great coach, and we were competing for we 27 players were competing for our position to be in the 11. But at the same time, everyone was happy with the coach. I think that's the gift that any coaches can have. So if I would love to do that, but then we're still, like I said, we are still learning, and we want to learn more. But if you talk about man management, it's all about individual, and from Subhash Vomik to Bob Houghton to Suki and even Contestine. So they all were great, and I'm happy to play under, and I have learned a little bit from each and every coaches.
Now, since we're talking about Subhash Bhomik, sir, if you can, since you also, address the fact that he would, call people, he would call the players, it's not just on the pitch, but off the pitch. If you can just share some personal incidents that has happened to you personally, what he's told you, and something that you really, even today or even going ahead, you will keep it very close to your heart, if any instance as a player.
See now for me it's an every coach. It's not only Suhas for me. For me, yes, yeah, he was very close to me. But then he and I was very close to Bob Houghton. I was very close to Shukisher also. So so yeah, if I have to go back to Suhas Bomik, it's you have to keep the players happy. Like I said, when nothing is going well, how do you motivate the players? And that's what he did. When I was injured for 2-3 months, he always try and make a call in the evening or every 2-3 days to check out if I'm feeling okay or not. So he always said that don't worry, once you get fit, you will always come back in the 11. And all this stuff, all this small thing matters, and that's what he did. And it's not only with me, but I'm sure he has done with all the players, and that's how you manage the players to make them happy. So if you're happy outside the ground, you will surely be happy and ready to fight for any coaches. So that's what we did.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for sharing that bit. And moving on to the point, well, currently we know that the Asian Cup is ongoing. We're almost, in the final. We've got our finalists, and this episode would probably be coming out. You'll be listening to it after the finalists played, so we won't talk about that. But any thoughts or comments, Coach, about the whole situation with regards to Team India, how that unfolded?
I think for me, the first match against Iran, I think that was the best thing. I do follow women's sport, but then we hardly get a chance to watch on TV, and the league is very short. Yeah, it's for 1 month. I wish if they can have a league for 7-8 months, or even for 5 months or 4 months. Not finishing the league in one. I know that I understand that even the IFF, it's very very difficult to get a sponsor and stuff. But yes, I would be happy if they have a longer league so that we can also watch them they week in week out, like we can watch for the men's league. So so yes, so I even though I try to follow, but then we hardly get the chance to watch. But then when I watch the match against Iran, I think unlucky, a lack of quality finishing. But then the way we played, I think we have played a good game. Even though I feel that we could have scored 2-3 goals. If we were a little better on finishing. And after that, we all were looking forward to see the second match. But sad, the situation was such with the COVID that they couldn't play the two more games that they had to play. So, but then the situation is such that we just have to look forward and wait for another chance to prove that they are good. And all I can say is that women's team need to get more matches, and more matches will make them play better. And that's what I feel.
Now, talking about women's football, we recently got to know that Kamla Devi, who can be considered as one of the legends of women's football for our country, announced her retirement, and she's also happens to be from Manipur, the state that you belong to. Anything that you would like to say about her, or you've seen her play? What are your thoughts on Kamla Devi's career?
So I was just reading an interview, I think 1 or 2 days back, how her father didn't allow her to play football because playing football you cannot do anything big. That's when I started playing football. Now the football has become so big that you can earn a good living, at least with the men's game, right? So that's why I want the women's team should get the same opportunity, same time of matches, same number of matches. I'm sorry. So so yes, I think Kamla Devi, she have done really well. 2017, she got the Player of the Year award, and after playing for so many years, I think now she wants to continue. She wants to continue to stay with football, and she wants to come up with the academy. And I'm sure coming out from Manipur, where football is number one, but we all come from a very humble background. And I'm sure how I know, because I am running an academy myself here. I know how tough it was for her to come up and play for the national team. So So I think she have come a long way, and I'm really happy. When I was reading the interview that she want to come up with an academy, and that will be the best thing, because she can share her experience, so that we will be able then so that we will be able to see more numbers, male female coming out from this region. So she should just continue, and my best wishes to her. And thanks for what she did for the Indian team for so many years.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll definitely bring a smile onto her face if she's listening to the episode. Moving on to now, there was some. I mean, you and Baichung did a trip down to Nagaland, right? And it has nothing to do with football per se, but you both have been signed to the Western Sumi Sports Association as advisors. If you can just tell us something about that.
Oh yeah, this Western Sumis. Yeah, it's just because now again, Nagaland is one state where with a lot of potential, but then we hardly see any players coming out from Nagaland, right? So wow, one of our friend, he have requested us, so to advise on the local official over there. So we always, not only with Nagaland, but we're always ready to share our experience. So we will try and help Nagaland football to develop, so that now we see many players, 5 or 6 players in every team from Manipur. But how many players do we see from Nagaland? There are many players from Meghalaya. There are many players from Mizoram. There are a few players from Arunachal, but we don't see many players from Nagaland. So Baiju and me, we just went to open a sports complex. So thanks to the Nagaland government, Honorable CM, and the advisor Abu Mehta, who invited us. So they are also working hard to see that the young players also come out and play for the national team. Young players also come out and play for the state team, because we don't see many players, like I said. So the management, the officials, the government, they're all working hard to see that a lot of players coming out from the region. So yes, Baiju and me, we went to open there, and then we have become an advisor, so that we're always ready to give our advice. We're always ready to share our experience, and that's what we did recently.
Yeah, well, definitely it has a lot to do with football. And I mean, definitely, I think after listening to this, we'll all be looking forward to what's brewing in Nagaland football and, keeping an eye out there. Uh, Now, tell us about your academy, right? The Classic Football Academy, if I'm not wrong. That's the name. How is it going? Like, how do you, how are the kids, how is the response going, and how do you plan to grow it? And give us some insights into that.
Yeah, Classic Football Academy. After 2015, for 2 years, I've worked as assistant coach, and I worked with TV for 2 years, and that's when I started my football academy called Renedy Football School. So for 1.5, 2 years, I have to hire the coaches, and then I have to pay from my own pockets, and it was difficult for me. Football, like I said, Manipur is a poor state. Not many people, there is a lot of unemployment problem, and every family are struggling, even to come out with 3-4 thousand for their kids. So it's difficult. So so yes, when I open an academy, I see so many young kids who are interested, but they cannot even pay a 1,000 rupees fee, or they cannot even pay 500 rupees. So it's difficult, but potential is such. So the interest is, there's so much of interest. But then it was difficult for me, because I have to pay those 10 coaches that I have got, ex players, they have got a family to support. But then it was so difficult for me that 1.5, 2 years, I struggled, but I went on. And after that, the Classic Hotel Group, they were the main sponsor for Neroka for 4 years. And I think Neroka came second when they were there, and they have promoted from the second division also. So the Classic Group, really, they have done really, really well with Neroka. And after being a sponsor for Neroka, they wanted to start a football academy of their own. And Classic Group, the MD, the director, they are like my family. We are family friends. So now, after, when I was struggling for 1.5, 2 years, they also wanted to have their own. And Neroka is a community club. So Classic also, they wanted to have their own academy. And I said, why don't, then they said that, Renedy, why don't we start together? So that's when, from Renedy Football School, it turned into Classic Football Academy. And for all the coaches, they are paying, so they have been helping me for last 2 years. They have been taking care of the academy. And they are the one who who even though when I'm outside, they are the one who are running the whole scene. So it's been great. So if I have to look back again with the academy when I started, when we play with the district team, when we play with the district team, we even lost the district team 3 or 4-0. But now from 3 years now, if you see for last 1.5 years, we have beaten all the state league teams, almost all the state league team, even the I League team. We have beaten Neroka twice just before the I League, just before this year's I League. So imagine the development from losing to 3-4 to district team and beating all the state teams. So that's a good development, but we still have to a long way. We don't finish here, but in another 1 or 2 years, we will be able to compete with any team in India. That's what I believe in. That's why we are working for. So we will be able to see in 1.5 years, and we have 350 kids, school kids, and from there we have selected 90 elite kids. So we have and in that elite kids we have 14 under 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So three groups of 30 each, right? And then the remaining grassroots and the other school kids, they train 3 or 4 times a day, but the elite kids train 5 to 6 days a week, and we try and play every Wednesday and every Saturday. So things are getting better. And recently also we have lost in a 1-0 in the state league tournament in the final. So that's a good development. And I was requesting them even today also after the training. I was telling them that let's work for 1.5 years with those under 19 teams, and we will be able to see better play coming out. And two of them have already last year they played with East Bengal in the ISL. So yes. So if we keep working, and I'm 100% sure we will be able to compete with any team in India in next 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely looking forward to that bit. You're also the president for the FPI, right? Football Players Association of India. In the recent times, we've seen that a lot of things have been planned, and you plan to, probably announce it soon. So, if there's anything that we can know, what's up the sleeve, and what more can we see from the FPI going ahead?
So now we started IFPI. If Baisung, we all 2008, 7 or 8, we were having a camp in under Bohausen. We were having a camp in Dubai, and we were there in Dubai for 2-3 months preparing for the Asian Cup. So now that's when we started to we formed an association. Actually, it was all Baichung's idea, and supported by us, by the remaining players, to 26 players, I think, because Baichung played in Bury. So Baichung got this idea how Players Football Association works in UK. So he requested everyone, each and every player, saying that in when we signed he signed in 1993 for East Bengal. I signed in 96 for Mohun Bagan. Those days the club promised a lot of things. Clubs, they say, for example, they were promised for 10 lakhs or 15 lakhs. They will give an advance of 5-6 lakhs, and the remaining money they will say, oh yeah, we will pay tomorrow, oh yeah, we'll pay next month. So we never used to get those remaining sometimes, and players couldn't speak out because we don't sign even the contract properly. So now with FPI, it's all about educating the players that we have to sign the proper contract, so that if the clubs don't pay, or if they get injured and the club never pays in those days. So now things have stopped. The clubs are way more organized than what it was. So and thanks to Players Football Association, that things are getting way better in I League level and ISL level. I know that a lot of things are not working in the right way in state levels or the district levels. It has to get better. But in ISL, you will not see any complaint about non-payment. First, there are some issues, but then for sure the club will surely pay. That's where the Players Association come in to help the players to get that money, and not only money, or when the players are getting injured, clubs do not look after. But now, like I said, things are getting much better than before from our days. So this has to continue. All the good work has to continue, and I know it's not easy. I'm speaking on behalf of the Players Association, but I know that a lot of teams also struggling with the sponsors and the money. But then we all have to work together. The club organization and the API, I think we all have to work together so that the players get benefit from that.
Yeah. So anything that's coming up that we can expect from FPA? What do you plan to go on to do going ahead? Because we also know that there is a tiff between AIFF, right? It's not recognized by the governing body of the country. But otherwise, apart from that, how do you plan to make it bigger and make the voice much more?
So we have to educate the players more. We don't now. We are working only with ISL and I League, but we have to work in the district level. We have to work in the state level also, because if that don't improve, it's not going anywhere. So yes, it's a good start to work at I League players and ISL players, but football is not only about I League players and ISL players. So it has to come in the state team also. We have to work with every state together, and that's our aim.
Right. Finally, what's next for Renedy Singh and what can we fans expect?
Yeah. See, now I have come back. I've already started training with our academy boys, with our 12 other coaches. So football never stops. Like when I worked for last 2 years with East Bengal, for 5 months uh, I worked with the East Bengal team, but the remaining months I worked with my academy, with our academy, as Classic Football Academy. So yes, football never stops. Like I have come out, and now I'm working for another. I will work for another 6 7 months, and then if I get an offer from any ISL, I will see. But right now, I will just concentrate on with the academy to get better. Like I said, I this is for last 3 years. I've been putting a lot of work. Getting up at 4:30 in the morning, having 3 sessions, finishing at 1. They not only one day, for days and days, and weeks and weeks. So I have worked not only along with me, the other remaining 12 coaches. We have worked really hard, to see these players, to see these players develop to be the best. So we cannot stop here. We just have to keep going. And I really feel, this academy working for 3 years, beating a I League team, it's not easy at all. But it's all the hard work that we have put in. We cannot stop here. We just have to continue to give the best experience to these players, match experience, training experience, so that the team from this region. We now, if we talk about academies, everyone knows about Bengaluru, how good they are. We know about Round Glass. We know about Reliance Academy. So it's not only the academy, but once they turn 19, we form. Now we are playing our league also here. Now we have promoted to first division now. So so yes, things look good, but then it's not going to be easy. But we just have to keep working. And in that meantime, and again, 5 6 months, if I get an offer, fine, with the ISL, I will see. But if not, I will just continue to work with my academy to be the best.
Yeah, I think you missed out on your dear friend's academy, naming his academy among that list as well.
Baichung, but you mean Baichung Buri? Yeah. So there are many other, even Sudeva Baichung Bhutia Academy, but top two academies, as we all know, is Reliance. The most organized academy we all know is Reliance and Bangalore, right? And the Round Glass Sudeva Baichung Academy, and there are many other academies. But not for me. It's not only concentrating on academy, but after when they turn 19 years, how do we help them to develop? So it's we always have to form a club. But Bangalore has got, whoever they graduated from there, the best players are playing in the ISL. So like that, we want to be there someday, and we will be for sure if we keep
Yeah,
working.
absolutely. And I think all of these academies only gives us more and more talent from across the country. So I have nothing but best wishes for you, Renedy, sir, and to everything that's happening in at the academy. And I hope I can come down and visit one day for sure.
Siju, please do come down and see how it is. The potential, of course. Yes, like I said, in Manipur, we all, it's hardly any you will see. Everyone comes from a difficult background, and you will sometimes the players don't have 10 20 rupees to travel to give the bus fare. So you can imagine how difficult the players are facing. But then for football, they're ready to do anything. The family, they're ready to do anything. It's not in big cities. There are a lot of academies charging 4,000 or 5,000, but that's not a problem for any family. But here back home, the family is running with 10,000 or 12,000. If they have to pay for 4,000 for the coaching, they don't have, right. So they don't have much to survive. Yeah, so yes, football is a way to good life, or sports in general is a way to good life. But it's you should come someday and check out, how we work over here. It will be good for you too.
Yes, yes, absolutely. Now that you've invited me officially on record, I have to make this trip down there. Uh, Coach Renedy Singh, thank you so much. Thank you so much for not getting bothered by my continuous messages, and thank you for making time finally and being part on the show of the Totally Indian Football Show. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks, Siju. Thanks a lot. Thanks. Lovely talking to you. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, same here. To all the listeners, thank you so much for tuning in. And I'm sure, rest assured, this episode was an amazing one for you. So if you did like it, so please like, follow, and subscribe to our podcast. And it's available on all the leading platforms. Thank you so much once again for tuning in and for all the love. This is me, Siju, your host, and you were listening to the Totally Indian Football Show. Thank you.